this is Erodo Jumbo. Sorry about that. I've had a pretty eventful week. A little bit sore from taking care of the weeds yesterday, and then I had some work. I just literally just finished, like 2 seconds to spare before I starting this live stream. Anyways, let's get started. So you see how I didn't even have time to prepare. So in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to use Laravel. It's a PHP web framework. Before we get started, as you just saw, I host a live stream every single day. You go to ajumbo.com, then you go to watch menu, live sub menu, then you can see this current live stream we're doing right now is called PHP Web Framework, and it's Laravel. And you see the channel it's going to be on, and the date and time, and you see these are post-dated topics for future live stream. Okay, also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. And I'd like to thank all of you who have subscribed recently. Thank you very much. All right, so Laravel is a PHP framework. So obviously you're going to need PHP. It's basically a set of component libraries designed to help developers build web applications, API, and web services. So Laravel also follows that model view controller architecture that makes code more organized, maintainable, and testable. So if you don't know what that means, I do have a glossary here. But essentially what that means is that you split things. For example, view would be the HTML part that you see in the web browser, for example, like this. Everything's here. This could be the view, the HTML page. And the model could be where you, for example, let's say like in this particular case, this stuff is all in the database. So to get it from the database, that will be the model. And what the controller is, the controller will be the one that actually, for example, if I had a form here, the controller will be like the form handler. That's a simple way of, and I said this, if you really want to understand what that means, I have a glossary here, explain what a model is, and the business logic, the view, that's the user interface, like I said, HTML, CSS, and potentially some PHP, and then the controller, which would be the intermediary. For example, it receives the user requests, loads the models, etc. So you can think of, just think of every page could be, if it has specific things, it could be a page, or database, table, things like that. All right, and then of course, Laravel can also be extended by third-party libraries such as with helpers, plugins, etc. For example, template engines. It integrates template engines such as Twig, or others are options such as Smarty. Those are template engines. For example, in WordPress, you have the WordPress template. So that is obviously unique only to WordPress. But if you're building something that's more, if you don't want to create your own template from scratch, you can use like those ones, like I said, like the Twig and Smarty. So where can you get Laravel? You can download it from laravel.com. As you can see here, it is. I'll talk about this later. So you see, you can click here, getting started. You can use Composer to get it, and that's what we're going to do in this tutorial. So you obviously all this model view controller architectures, you can also use them in an existing project. For example, maybe you just need I just need one thing only. So you can grab Laravel, or for example, if you're creating an app from scratch, like what we're going to do today, we can also install an example application and to get started. And I'll show you that in a few seconds. So as you see here, I do have the expanded code snippets in how to set up, obviously with Composer, how to run the development server. And when you run the development server, you can access it on port 8000. So that should be familiar to you. That's obviously the built-in PHP web server. So that's obviously for testing. Obviously, after you're done, you can then put it on your other type of HTTP server, such as Apache, Nginx, etc. Oh, if you're happy, you can still run the built-in Laravel server as well. Okay, and I explain here how you can create a view and the database environment, a controller, and a route. Okay, and you can see here, this is how I installed it. I just installed the example app, and you can see I used Composer here. This is a screenshot, and you see it downloaded Laravel, and downloaded some start whatever requirements it needed, dependencies. And you can see here, so for all this type of tutorials, I've been using my own database, the guy, for generated AI. But as you can see, this example app, it actually installs extra tables, I guess, for the example, which that's fine. So we will use the same thing, and I'll show you that as well. I'll load up PHP MyAdmin, and of course to run the server is just PHP @serve, and you can see it's 8,000. This is clearly the as I said, the built-in PHP web server. And as you can see here, I renamed that database table from users to people. This way, I didn't want to interfere with the example app for Laravel, because we're assuming when you're doing this, you don't have a database table. So so Laravel will create them for you. And this is the video. If you don't want to, sorry, I forgot. So as I was saying here, you see at the top of each of these articles, I show you where the live stream, the date and time, and so it's going to be Eastern time, and you're free to ask any programming related questions. And of course, you can, this is the channel, you can click this channel, log into the channel, and then you can ask questions or requests. And if you don't want to do that, of course, you can watch the video below, and the video is here. This is live, for example, if I click this, and time, and so it's going to be Eastern. Yes, as you can see, it's live. All right, and the database configuration file is located at this location, and of course the routes are located in the routes folder. The controls are in this controllers folder, and the views are located in the views folder. Laravel is open source. It's released under MIT license. As I promised, this MIT license will be the first one which I'll create a separate tutorial and explain the permissive license, what you can and cannot do, and why this might be a good license for you to use, and as opposed to some proprietary licenses. And PHP itself is released under the PHP license, which is also a permissive license. And of course, we can actually get started now. So with that out of the way, I'm going to minimize this. And I'm going to open up a folder. So it's an empty folder, as you can see here, completely empty. There's nothing in this folder. So I don't need the folder to be that big, so I'll just make it a little bit smaller here. And then what I'll do is open the console. Sorry for the clicks. As I said, I'm a little bit sore from taking care of those weeds yesterday. And my fingers, actually my hand was shaking yesterday when I was trying to, I actually spilled water. I was trying to drink some water. My hand was shaking. It still shakes a little bit today because it's battery operated weed eater. It's very heavy. Okay, so with that out of the way, let me get started here. Clear, come on. What is going on here? Clear, there we go. I'll zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I need to install a Composer. Sorry, no Composer. You need to have Composer installed. So Composer, create project, Laravel. Obviously, it's Laravel. And I will say example app. So you put this outside your web root. And you see it creates example.app, and you see, oh, did you see that? Symfony. So it grabs some stuff from Symfony. Yeah, here we go. You see Laravel, grabs some stuff from Symfony. So it grabs, as I said, this most of this, and you see also grab the PHP unit, Sebastian, and you see it's going on here. It's installing stuff. Doing any migrations, you see it creates a users table, this is not running yet because it's not connected to the database, so it's finished. Now, let me open up a different browser with one. I'm going to use a Chromium here, and I'm going to log into PHP. I'm going to go to PHP and log in here. So I'm going to use a guy here. Okay, so this guy database table, you see it has all these tables here. So I'm going to, and you see this people database table, it used to be called users, but because of this example app, it wants a users table. So so I'm going to delete, because it's going to recreate them. So I'm going to delete this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And these are all the database tables for this example app. So I'm going to delete those. Where's delete? Drop. Okay, yes. So there's only a people's table. And in people's table, it's a usual thing. You see it has an ID, username, name, age, and verified. And just to show you the structure, so you can see the ID is obviously an integer, username is text, name is text, age is a small int, only 3, size of 3, and verified is an int, size of 1. Now you might be saying, why don't I use something like tiny int or things like that? The reason I'm doing this is because no, I'm not lazy. It's because I don't want to be specific to MySQL. I want to be able to use a different database, for example, like SQLite or Postgres in the future. So I want to keep it simple so I can easily migrate. That's why I'm doing this. Anyways, as you can see, you go back to the database. You see there's only one table, the people table. Okay, so we'll come back to this later. Why? Because now if we go into this example app here, you can see there's an app folder, there's a config folder. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the, there's also an environment. So the environment is hidden. It's just a hidden file. It's .ini. So what I'm going to do is I am going to load that file. I'll use Nano. I can use a text editor, but I'm going to use Nano. So now I'll cd into it. So cd example app. Then I'll do nano.env. And you see here, this is where you set your environmental variables. You see the app name is called Laravel. It's local, which is fine. And then the database. So right now, it saves the maintenance driver as a file instead of the database, which is fine. See here, by default, it's going to use SQLite. I didn't have time to install a GUI for SQLite, so that's why I'm going to change this from SQLite to MySQL. And you see all this PHP mail and stuff. So I'm going to change this up back here again. So the cache store is database as well, so that's fine. SQL, this here is database, and this one is, I'm going to change it to MySQL. Okay, so I've changed this to MySQL. So I'm going to save this out. Okay, so the next one is we're going to go to config folder here, and we have what do we have here? We have the database. I'm going to open this up in Guinea. So I believe it's Control++. Yeah. So as you can see here, this is some of the stuff I was working on before. Okay, anyways, we don't need that. So here in the database, if we go down, you see it's set to use if you use SQLite, this is the SQLite and the path to the database file. Usually in PHP, it's able to create SQLite. It's able to create SQLite database files because it's just a flat database. And you see MySQL here. Oh, there's also MariaDB. So you know what I'm going to do? I'll change that one to MariaDB. There shouldn't really be a difference, MySQL. So I'll change it to MariaDB. So MariaDB here, this is also localhost. I'll just leave that as is. And the database name, remember, it's called GAI. and the username, as you saw when I logged into PHP my admin. Oops. The username is Guy, I believe. Yeah, and this is Guy Pass. Okay, so remember I need to change this to Maria. So I'm going to use MariaDB. You can also use Postgres. You can also use SQL. I think this is for, not sure what this one is. I think this is for, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that might be for, oh, SQL Server. Yeah, the MySQL, no, not MySQL. SQL Server, Microsoft. Okay, so so that's fine. You know what? Since I'm here, I'm gonna open that up. I'll say guinea.env. So it opens up that file, so I can change it here. I'll change it to MariaDB. Okay, in case you can't see this, I'll zoom up a little bit. You see the database connection, I change it to MariaDB. This is the same file I opened up in Nano before. All right, now, the other thing we want to do is we also need to okay, so whenever you make a change, this is one thing I kind of dislike this, even though I haven't started the server yet. Whenever, see this, I've made these two changes. So what I need to do, which drives me, it makes me a little bit annoyed. Let me actually, yeah, so what you need to do then is type PHP artisan, and then you have to say make session table. Okay, that's fine. And then you have to say PHP artisan migrate. So you see it ran this now because by default this was created in a SQLite folder. Now it's going to create this users table, the cache table, and the jobs table. It's going to create them in the MySQL or MariaDB. So if we go here now, if I do a refresh, you can see it created them there. So it created the cache folder, the cache logs, failed jobs, batches, migrations, password reset, tokens, sessions, and users. And this is why I said I renamed it. I remember this table used to be called users. I renamed it to people, just because I wanted to use an existing database. What do you do now? Are you good experience with Laravel? Sorry, I'm replying to a request here. So I am a freelance programmer and know PHP very well for custom apps and websites. Okay, so somebody asked me, what do I do now? Obviously, I'm a freelance programmer. I asked if I have a good experience in Laravel. And yes, because it's just the PHP, anything PHP related, I'll be good at it because I can obviously, you've seen my previous tutorials on CodeIgniter, Symfony, and this one. So they're very similar. So as long as you're good in one programming language, like PHP, it'll be easy to pick it up in pick up another, this is just a framework. So you can do everything from scratch, or you can use a framework. You can create your own frameworks too. Okay, so with that out of the way, now we can actually start the PHP server. So you just type PHP artisan and serve. And you see here, so it's telling me that I can run this. You see, this is just localhost. It's 8,000. So if we go back to this same one, I can simply just go localhost 8,000. And you can see here, this is Laravel. Okay, so now obviously you see that you can even watch tutorials on Laracasts. Now this is I mean, this is not the end of the tutorial obviously, but I'm saying this is how to get the server running. Now we want to create our own so we can grab data from our own database table, not from the built-in ones. So next what we're going to do is we're going to create a route. So Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that this is running one of the latest versions of Laravel. So some of the tutorials you're going to see online, they're going to have wrong information. So this one, at the time of this recording, this is the latest Laravel version. So I'll show you how to create a route the proper way. Okay, so now we can actually stick to this. I'm going to split this screen and actually, I think does it have a folder here? Oh, yes, it does. Perfect. So it has a folder, so I can easily navigate. Unfortunately, I didn't. I should have loaded the folder here instead, so I could grab the files. Actually, I wonder if I can. Oh, it's too late now, but that's fine. So I'll just split this screen here, and we'll go here. Okay. Now, so I want to create a route. So we go to, we get out of the config folder there, back to our example app. And now we look for our routes. So the routes, that's pretty easy. The routes are in the routes folder. And you see there's a console.php and web.php. So a lot of tutorials online, they'll tell you, oh, you have to create your own file here, the route similar to Symfony. You don't have to do that. You see this web.php because it's a web app. Grab that and put it in your text editor. Okay, I'll zoom up here so you guys can see a little bit. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so you can see here, right now, there's only one route. That means when you go to the default or the home page of the current app, it will return one view, and that view is the welcome. It's a welcome page, which is this one here in the background. So we want to create our own. So all we do is just take this, duplicate it, and I'm going to say people, and I'm going to create a view called people. It hasn't been created yet, so that's it. See how simple that is? Now I have my now that's the view done. Sorry, the route. So that's the route. I've created my own route. Okay, simple enough. Okay, next, let's create the controller. So to create the controller, and you can see here in the documents aside, it tells you the path to all these files I have open. Okay, so go back to the example app. Now we're going to create a controller. So we have to go to the app folder. And you see it says HTTP. So we're going in here and controllers. And then right now there's only one controller. It's called controller.php. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one, open up here. And this is just an abstract class. There's nothing in here. So let me zoom in again. I'm going to rename it. Oops, once again. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go to File, Save As. So I'm going to call this one People Controller. So you see now there's one called People Controller. That's one we want. So it's People Controller here. Obviously, it's PHP tag. It's a PHP file. We have the namespace controllers. We'll leave that as well. Now we need to use a few things. So I'm not going to create an abstract class here. We need to grab a few things. So I'll remove that. What I need to use. Okay, I'll say use illuminate /support because I need the database. Cards DB, that's for the database. And I use app http requests. Okay, and now we can start creating our class. Oops, this should be used. Yeah. My fingers are still shaking, so sorry for all the spelling mistakes. Hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. So we say users, or I should say people's controller. I'll call this people's controller. People controller extends controller. Okay. And now create public, static, what is it? Public, static, function, select, code. Okay, then I'll say people equals DB, that's a database object. So select, and my query, which will be select all from people. Remember, our database is called people. Then I'll use a for each. People as person. Okay, then I'll just I'll use Paradox. I'm using PHP 8.4, so this has been around since PHP what is it? PHP 7 point something, I can't remember. So okay, so this is just a table, so it will be tr and a td for table cell. So in here it will be person ID. This is from the database table. So if we go back here to the database table here, you see I have, if we go to the people's table, you see you have ID, username, name, age, and verified. So those are the values I'm getting in here. So I will duplicate this. So this will be obviously username. Duplicate this again. And this will be name. And one more duplicate. And this will be age. I can also get verified if I really wanted to, but yeah, I can grab the verified too, but this is good enough for me. Okay, and then so this is done. So and then just close out of the for each loop, close out of this function, and obviously close out of the class. So that's it. This is our people this is our people controller. Our controller is done. We need to create a view. So the view is to create the view, we need to get out of here and go to app. We go to that one is actually in resources. And you see resources, you have CSS, JavaScript, and views. So I'm picking views, and this is the default view. I want to show you what that looks like. And you see this is the default view. You have the HTML, you have all this stuff in here. This is way too much, some SVG files. So I do want to create one, so I'm going to just rename this. And I'm going to create mine. Remember, I have to call it people. Now, if you look at the name, it says welcome.blade. It not just says welcome, so you need that blade. So I'm going to change this to people. And hit save. And I'm going to delete everything in here, so I don't need it. And this is just a very simple HTML. It's an HTML with embedded Laravel PHP code. So I will zoom in here so you can see. Yeah, there we go. Finally got it. Okay, so first I just need a doc type. So doc type, it's HTML. Okay, the time is still pretty good. Hopefully I'll be able to type everything, HTML, and then we need a head section. Okay, in the head section, just put a title. Okay, so the title, I'll call it people dashboard. Make it anything you want. And then some styles in here. So this is just table styles. So I'll style the body. I'll make the max width 800 pixels. This is not a CSS tutorial. Probably make a dedicated one in the future, but this is just simple styling. Okay, and then we have a table. Okay, the time is taking too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste the rest of this stuff in here. This is just styling. This tutorial is not about styling. So it's just those are just styles there, and then we are so these are just styles. You see, I styled the table. The table cell and the table heading, and I made it. I styled each even row, and just the hover. I give it a hover state, and just align, and just pretty simple stuff. All right, now with that out of the way, let's actually start creating our body. Okay, so for our body here, just give it an h1 tag and just give it a message. I'll just say welcome to the people dashboard. Okay, then I'll just make a table. The reason I use a table is because I did use a table in the other, like when I did the Code Igniter and Symfony. So I just want to be consistent, just so you can see what I'm, you decide which one you want. So now this is just the head, so TH for the heads, and ID, Control D, then the username, Control D to duplicate, then the name, and duplicate again, and then last one was the age. Now remember, there's also verified, so if I wanted to add the verified, I could add that as well. So then after that, there's the body, so that's a T body. I can put the T body here, but the good thing about the good thing about tables, actually I should actually put it properly. It's a T body in here, and then in T body, that's the table. Now what I can do is I can now grab that function. So I will say /app/http controllers. Then I say people controller. And what method do I want to run in there? So it's a select, and I'll put name. Okay, so you might be wondering, what the hell does this mean? So if you go back to our people controller here, you see text the code. I'm not actually using this. So I could pass something in here. For example, I could pass in the name. Then I could obviously, for example, maybe that's a specific table. I could pass a specific table, then I can put it here. So it'll be select all from the table name. So whatever you want. So that's the reason I did that. But I'm saying this is actually not being used. I could actually just remove this. But I put that there because I said you might want to do something specific. Maybe you wanna search for a specific person. So this is how you could pass it in. So if we go back to our people here and I click, I saved it. Now, if you notice something interesting here is that I use people controller but that has nothing to do with this name here. This is actually the name of the function, the class, sorry. It's the name of the class. So if I call this class like users, I would have to go and change this to users. So just be aware of that. You don't have to, PHP, you don't have to have the same class name as the file name. So just be aware of that. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's go and test this out now. So if we go here, so if I make a mistake, for example, if I say /fg, you see it says not found. So it's smart enough that and now I think I call it people. I can't even remember. Slash people. So you see it says class HTTP controllers people controller has not been found. You see this one, it says I think I spelled it wrong. I call it people. I think it's supposed to be people's controller. Let's actually go check to make sure. No, it's people controller. So it hasn't been found. Ah, that's interesting. So I'm going to rename this to users. Going to rename it to users, and I'm going to rename this one to users. Okay, now if I run this again, oh, that's weird. Still hasn't found it. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay, hold on. I made a mistake somewhere. Let me check. It's probably something really simple. I probably forgot to do some. Let me actually look at this guy. HTTP requests. Limit support. The database is fine. Controllers. Function is select. Oh, you see here, it's telling me what the problem is. It's not able to find h/http controllers users controller. Make sure I put the file in the proper place. http/controllers people controller. Yeah, it's there. Guess it's this is lowercase, will be select. Yes, it's probably just a typo. So let's try that again. Yeah, you see there's a typo. I spelled it wrong. So it's case sensitive. So you see this, I had this in all caps, and this name here, as I said, this doesn't really matter. You can call it whatever you want, but there we go. So now it works. So you have to be case, it's not case insensitive, it's case sensitive. So there we go. Now it works. You can see now it grabbed the data the way I want it from the specific table here. So obviously, do we have time is out, but you can obviously change this as well, in that maybe you can have an input box, the person puts a username, and then you can go back here, and then you see the where it says select name. It could be maybe the input, and then you can grab a specific something there from the table. So as you can see here, so just to finish up here, remember there's another table called verify. So let's actually add that one as well. So I'll put verify. I think it's verify, not verified. Let's double check. Yeah, oh, it's verified. Okay, I was wrong. So we can add verified, and obviously it's going to look a little bit weird here, but yeah, you see this is the verified values. And of course, we just go back to our people blade here, and we just add another one here and call it verified. Verified, there we go. If I refresh a page, you see verified is here. So this is the styling. You can see I have the heading here styled differently, and then you see when you hover over them, they're different as well. And you can see without the hover, the even row has a different background color. Okay, so that's it. So this is in Laravel. And again, you can create your own. I showed you how to create a route called people, and you do, and also connect to the database. Now remember, the default page looks like this, as you can see. So you can do whatever you want. You can make it as fancy like this, or you can make it more simpler like my people here. So that's it. So why would you use PHP frameworks like Laravel? As you saw, they make it easier for you to connect to the database. And you don't have to, like, if you want to get started right away, for example, this example app, I can create things like this extremely simply. And also, if it's something simple like this one, we just connect a database, there's no, obviously, not this type of data, but you can tell, you can even run the PHP, you see this one, the PHP server, the built-in server. I had some 401s, I'm surprised they didn't show up here, but you can see here, there's because we're on the 404 page. So you can see here it's everything missing a 5 icon, and you see it's /people, and then slash. You can check, you see how quickly they load as well, which is actually not too shabby. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go to the article and finish up here. So, quick reminder that I do a live stream every single day. You go to ojambo.com, you go to the watch menu, live sub menu, you can see the current live stream, this one, the PHP Web Framework Laravel. The channel is going to be on a date and time, and it's post-dated topics for future live streams, like this is the one for tomorrow. And also, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. If you enjoy this, you can consider supporting me. You can purchase one of my WordPress plugins at ojambo.com. You can enroll in my programming courses at ojamboshop.com. You can buy my programming books on Amazon. Search for Edward Ojambo, links in the description. You can hire me for all your programming and app development needs at ojamboservices.com. And you can also donate at ojambo.com/donate. The donate button is also up here in the fixed header. Okay, so there's no more chat requests, so I'm going to end this live stream, and I'll see you guys next time, especially tomorrow. Thank you very much. See you soon.